Welcome to episode 55 of the Animorphs Read-Along broadcast. Today we are talking about the last companion book, the Ellimist Chronicles. This video is a day late because I got sick and I'm in grad school and my life exploded. I had actually never read this book before. I think I started reading this when I was a kid, when it first came out, and to be honest, it was too much for me and I stopped. The writing style in this book is kind of really refreshing. It expects a lot of the reader. We're sort of thrown into this brand new world. We have no context for any of this. The narration isn't going out of its way to explain everything. There's never any detailed description of what the Ketrans look like. There's all of this slang and vocabulary that's never explained. We're sort of given these vague images and it's up to us to fill in the blanks. So we find out that thousands of years ago, the Ellimist was a normal person. He was part of this race called the Ketrans. They live on these massive crystals, and their crystals are kept afloat by all of the Ketran people flapping their wings and keeping it afloat by group collective effort. Perhaps the most important thing that we find out about the Ellimist's life as Tumen, which was his chosen name, is that he liked to play the game. So the game, basically a simulation, interfere with two civilizations and see which civilization wins out. And the Ellimist was apparently not very good at this game. He always lost. And according to his neighbor, Lakova, he loses because he's trying to win with optimism. He's trying to win with kindness. And one day, the Capasans attack, basically destroy all Ketran life on the planet. We're never given a whole lot of clarity as to how long the Ketran live, but the next time we see the Ellimist, or Tumen rather, it's been 65 years, and he's on this ship called the Searcher, and it's the last of the Ketran race looking for a new home. Very Battlestar Galactica. This part of the story goes south pretty quickly. The Ketran landing on this blue moon to see if it's habitable, everyone getting killed by this massive planet-sized tentacled organism that we will come to know as Father. This is where the book sort of starts to get a little trippy. So Father is some kind of creature who can mind meld. When he attaches his tentacles to you, he can access your brain even if you're dead. All of the Ketran are dead, except for the Ellimist, except for Tumen, who has been kept alive basically as a way of entertaining Father. But so Father entertains himself by playing games with the Ellimist. And one of the coolest and most significant parts of this, Father wants to play the game of music. And the Ellimist becomes completely obsessed with this game, thinks about it nonstop, 24/7, and eventually beats Father, completely. And Father gets discouraged and kind of withdraws a little bit, and Ellimist takes advantage of that and basically becomes Father. He absorbs all of these minds that are connected in this massive web. He realizes that his Ketran brain is not enough to sustain all of that knowledge. So he builds a ship, not only to help him escape from the planet, to help him contain the multitude that exists within him. The ship is him and he is the ship. So having never read this before, I was like, oh my god, is that what the Ellimist is? He's just a machine who uses his technology to seem all powerful? I was not having it. So the Ellimist travels around the universe, meddling, doing what he views as good, and eventually this causes him to encounter Krayek. And this is when we find out that the Ellimist created the Pemalites, which makes everything make so much more sense now. And then one day Krayek sets a trap for Ellimist, and he gets him sucked into a black hole. And I think it's important to note that at this point, the Ellimist existed across over 4,000 different ships. And as the Ellimist starts to be sucked into this black hole, his consciousness expands or shrinks or whatever, and suddenly he exists outside of space-time, which is kind of the plot of Interstellar. It is in this moment that the Ellimist has become the being that we know. And basically the book ends with Krayek also going into the black hole and becoming this mega powerful being. And that is how the Ellimist and Krayek came to be. Black hole explanation, I do think the fact that the Ellimist's consciousness was so massively huge before he got sucked in, made it work. This book is really good. It was just everything about the story was so out of left field that there was nothing predictable about it, nothing tired out or recycled. It just felt like this amazing, brand new, sort of mind-cracking story. The story is also bookended by the saddest thing ever, which is one of the Animorphs dying. The dying Animorph is like, Ellimist, you owe me an answer, you know, like, you've screwed with us, you've messed with us, who are you, who are we, what is the point of all of this? And the epilogue for this book is truly heart-wrenching, like, I cry every time I read it. The Animorph says, okay, then answer this, Ellimist. Did I make a difference? My life and my death, was I worth it? Did my life really matter? Yes, you were brave. You were strong. You were good. You mattered. Yeah. Okay then. Okay then. A small strand of space-time went dark and coiled into nothingness. So that's outrageously sad. Yeah, those are all my thoughts about the Ellimist Chronicles. The next book is book number 48, The Return. If you want to keep up with this read along, subscribe to this channel or follow me on Twitter, and I will see you on Monday.